Hey everybody, it's your boy, your guy, your man, your friend, your homie, your individual, Daunter, from Daunter Collects, the YouTube channel that provides quality Pokemon card content and other related things. Welcome to How to Collect in 2025, Episode 3. Today's episode, I will be doing what I did in the last episode, which is, yeah, if you saw it, then you would know, but firstly, we're going to be covering a little bit of Pokemon news, talking about some stuff from the new Pokemon Pocket set, and then secondly, we're going to be talking about a couple cards that I think that are pretty cool to pick up under $5. In our first segment, we're going to be talking about some Pokemon card news related to Pokemon Pocket, talking about Eevee Grove. Now, I have the PokeBeach article listed in the description, so if you want to check it out, go for it, right? All this information comes from PokeBeach. I'm not going to be showing every single card in the set, but the new Pokemon Pocket set, Eevee Grove, came out a couple days ago. It's cool. There's a lot of evolutions in it. So I'm going to cover a couple cards that I think are pretty cool. I always really love the rainbow rares from Pokemon Pocket, which are just like kind of all art looking cards. So I'll just highlight a couple of some of the ones that I like. So we have a Sylveon EX by Yu Nishida. The card is great. I really love how like energetic it is. That's just something that I really like about Pokemon Pocket rainbow rares, is that they're just so full of life most of the time, and they just have a lot of like boisterous kind of energy comparatively to some other alt arts that we see sometimes. But I really love all the effects. I love how the ribbons are super flowy in the card, like you really get that kind of flowy effect. And the flowers around the Pokemon are very colorful, very vibrant, very nice. It would be a card that I'd be happy to pull. And then another card that I want to talk about is Dragonite EX, illustrated by Moryu, who's one of my personal favorite, more recent illustrators that's been popping up in the Pokemon TCG. That's why I chose the card, is because I really love Moryu. The floating balloons and like the Pokemon itself just adds like a really nice kind of effect. And it's really cool that we got two Dragonite cards. Like we have one 1-star Dragonite and we also have a Rainbow Dragonite. And I'm perfectly fine with that because, like, you know, Pokemon Pocket, they produce so many cards, like it makes more sense for them to do it like that and just have some repeats. But what would an evolution set be without the evolutions? Obviously we have an immersive Eevee. It's very nice. I mean, it's cool. I love Kurimitsu's art style, so I have a very nice bias. I'm not going to play the whole video, the immersive video for you, but I just like looking at the card itself. Eevee is really nicely stylized, and I think it's a very interesting style for Kurimitsu to take, because I feel like you don't really see their cards, their Pokemon portrayed like this. Very thick outlines. It's very nice, though. It's very cute. I'm looking at one more card. I'll just look at one of these random 1-stars. Let's look at the Espeon. I think it really stands out to me because I just really love Rika's art style. I think it looks really, really, really nice. I love the light blaring down on the Pokemon. I love how it's standing on top of like some sort of like cliff face. And those nice like sakura trees in the background really add some color. But it's still very subtle, right? Like you have like a very nice, simple, kind of easy to understand color palette that's not too contrasty, but it, you know, the sakura trees in the background mixed with Espeon, they kind of contrast nicely with each other. It just makes an overall very nice looking card. And that's it for Pokemon news. If you want to see more Pokemon news, well then you're gonna have to check out the next episode. There's not always Pokemon news, unfortunately. I don't expect there to be Pokemon news every single day, but you know, it's nice when there is Pokemon news, right? And if there's not any news, I'll just talk about something random, right? So let's talk about some art rares under $5. Now, before I was doing like some Black Bolt, White Flare analyses of more recent sets, but I decided to go back into some older sets for this. So I just kind of went in line, like Scarlet Violet base set, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, trying to find some good looking cards under the $5 range. So from Scarlet and Violet base set, we do have the King Gambit art rare or illustration rare. I think this card is fantastic. I personally really love Bisharp and Pawniard and King Gambit. And you know, now that Black Bolt and White Flare are out, you have the Pawniard, which looks really, really cool, the art rare, and you also have the Bisharp art rare, which looks really, really cool. And now you also have a King Gambit, so you can have a full evolution line of all art rares for these Pokemon, which is great. And we got this so early on in the Scarlet and Violet era, it's so nice. Illustrated by Shin Nagasawa. I really, really love how like symmetrical it is, with like all the Pawniards kind of like lined up in formation, and the Bisharps behind the King Gambit. It's a very nice, like kind of militaristic look, almost, but it's really, really cool. Very, very unique idea for an art rare, and I think that it was executed perfectly. Sitting around the $4.82 mark, I think this card is a no-brainer. Next, we got the Houndour from Obsidian Flames. Now, this card was so expensive for so long. It randomly shot up ridiculously. Looking at the graph, it looks like February 17th, kind of that time, it shot up to around $33. But now it's normalized, I think, to around the $4.97 mark. So I think that's way more understandable. Illustrated by Cupiyama. This card is beautiful. It's really, really nice. I love how, like, energetic the Pokemon are in this card. Like, you have them one in the middle, kind of fighting with the other one on the right, and you have two of them eating food. You have one of them laying down in the background, and I think that's when art rares and illustration rares are their best, is when it showcases, like, multiple Pokemon kind of exploring different ideas with those same Pokemon to kind of give you a very nice, broad sense of an idea of, like, their lifestyle, you know? Like I said, sitting around that $4.97 mark, I think this card is absolutely a no-brainer. Let's look at the Bronzor from Temporal Forces, illustrated by Soso, who drew that fateful and incredible Gengar VMAX alternate artwork that everybody loves so much. I think this card is great. Bronzor is obviously not one of the most popular Pokemon, but this card's sitting around the $3.99 mark, so you're not paying full $5 price for it, which is great. This card is fantastic. I really love how, like, the Pokemon is kind of inspecting itself in its mirror that looks like itself, right? And the fact that it's inside of some kind of emporium or some kind of treasure shop is a very good idea for a card as well. I think that the environment is great. I think that the perspective is great in terms of just, like, you can see the background, like the stairs and stuff. You can see into other rooms, which is really cool. And I think that overall the card just looks really good. Looking at another card from Temporal Forces, we have the Cutie Fly, illustrated by Rend. This card is sitting around the $4.08 mark, and it's a beautiful, beautiful rendition of the Pokemon. Not only do you get Cutie Flies in this card, but you also get a Pikipek, which is really cool. But you have them drinking from this very, very detailed water fountain. As the water splashes, you have, like, the awe in this Pokemon's face as it, like, looks into the distance. Very, very cool. I just love Ren's hyper-realistic style. Anybody who's a fan of this kind of hyper-realistic style would probably like this card. You know, me included. You know, I think it looks really good. What can I say? Cutie Fly is a great Pokemon, and it's not an amazing Pokemon or anything, not completely standoutish, but I would say that this is, like, the perfect rendition of this Pokemon in the art rare format, right? And yeah, finally, we're going to be looking at a more vintage card. For my vintage pick, I chose the Dialga Cosmos Holo Deck exclusive. This card is sitting around $4.62. It's illustrated by Daisuke Ito, who's a 3D illustrator, so if you're not a huge fan of 3D illustrations, this card might not be your cup of tea, but I think this card is really cool, as it shows Dialga charging up some kind of energy blast, and, you know, the effects of the energy blast are well portrayed. I think that the outline around the Pokemon, like that nice, simple, kind of soft outline, looks really good on the Pokemon as well, and I think that it's just in a pretty cool pose. It's a cheap, you know, vintage Diamond and Pearl. I mean, I would say Diamond and Pearl is almost vintage at this point. But yeah, it's a very nice looking Dialga card, and there's also other Dialga cards that I could have picked. I just love Dialga as a Pokemon, so I think that that was, like, why I chose it. Regardless, though, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm trying to hit 700 subscribers, so if you watch this whole video, the whole long video, then, yeah, you could try to help me out. Try to help me out get into 700 subscribers, and if you want to, that'd be great. And if you don't want to, that's fine as well. Also, I'm pretty sure that I set up channel memberships, perhaps? If not, don't quote me on that, and if I did, then, I mean, consider becoming a channel member. That would be very cool. Oh yeah, I totally did set it up. Cool. Yeah, so the channel memberships start at $2 and end at $2. If you would like to support the channel and support me creating more videos, consider, you know, becoming a member. I think that the membership would probably mainly just consist of, like, if you want exclusive videos, it's probably just going to be more like raw, like, you know, like I have gameplay in the background. It would probably just be like the raw gameplay in the background. So that's kind of not really an incredible incentive, but it's more just for, like, if you'd like to support the Daunter Collects channel, if you want to see me create more videos, if you like seeing me make videos, then yeah, I mean, you know, you don't have to. I don't care. Your view and your, like, care, your attention is more than enough for me. Like, I don't need the money extremely badly. But, you know, if you want to support the channel, that's just a way to do it. Regardless, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day as well, not to mention, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.